guy's back on the program. He likes to visit the Up and Adam show. He played 9 seasons in the league, 8 of those with the Raiders. Insanely athletic fullback who I cherished hubba hubba on my fantasy team year in, year out. Last time this guy was on the show, he popped onto the screen with a cigar in his mouth, if I do recall. Marcel Reece, how are you?
I'm doing well, Kay. How are you? How's the crew?
Listen, let me just say, hey! This is one of my most prized, like if I wear this somewhere, you know how cool I'll be? How often will I get hit on if I wear this on like a game day Sunday somewhere? Let's really think about that. Our Marcel Reece sign thing that says I'm the realist in the, I would kill. I
mean every word, the realest in the game.
You're the best. Okay, you're one of my favorites, as you know. We're not going to we have a lot to talk about, you and I. We're doing the AFC West sort of deep dive and questions on the team and all of that. But first, we got to start with Food Network. What are you doing with Guy? What's happening here? We saw the new episode. What is it? Bonfire Craft Kitchen. Are you angling to take Guy's job? What is this?
That's funny. I haven't even seen that episode yet. But Guy is one of my best friends in the world. He calls himself my twin. What? And I'm sure everyone can see the resemblance, but that is my brother, and love him dearly. And we always have fun in the kitchen cooking together for our families and visiting the shows.
All of my producers are like this. They're like, what? They're best friends. Like, how do you become best friends with Guy?
Well, for anyone who knows Guy, knows he is an original member of the Raider Nation. And, they call me Mr. Raider. And the bond was instant. And our families enjoy each other. His sons are my godsons and my nephews, and I love them dearly, and Guy the same.
Can't wait to see the episode. I love that. You're besties with the Guy. You filmed with the Guy. Guys, check out that episode, even though Marcel hasn't seen it. It's Bonfire Craft Kitchen. Marissa dug up those stills, our producer, so that was great to see, and congrats on that. Let's get into some football here. 3-time Pro Bowler Jared Goff. Nice little contract yesterday. 4 years, $212 million, which is insane. I think 170 of that guaranteed. He's got the second largest contract per year in the entire league right now, right behind Joe Burrow. What comes to mind when you see Jared's name with this caliber of quarterbacks? What do you think?
You know what? It's interesting, Kay, because you're talking about a guy that's absolutely earned it and worked hard to get it, and he's also the #1 overall pick. It's almost an oxymoron, but when you think about it, he had early success in his career. Most people say he fell off right after that, but then worked himself back up. He was thrown in the garbage and forgotten about, 3-4 years ago. And now you're looking at someone who has led the entire league in major statistical categories, whether it's red zone quarterback or deep passes. He absolutely turned around, led the charge and turned around a franchise that has been yearning for it for over 30 years. So extremely proud of a guy like Jared Goff.
It's so interesting to see. I saw all these tweets yesterday that were like, say what you want, the Lions value their players. They take care of their players. It's so funny because like 10 years ago, that was not the image. So they've done such a good job culturally in changing things around where, Calvin Johnson himself, he comes on my show a lot too, and he'll say, I don't want to be there. Taylor Lewan comes on my show and says, the last place I would have wanted to go. Gronk said, if you try trading me to the Lions, I will retire. He said that famously to the Patriots, and this turnaround is so amazing. The turnaround for Goff is amazing too. I wonder who this year's Jared Goff is. Who's this year? I feel like Baker got himself into that world last year. He got paid. He turned it around. I wonder if it's Sam Darnold. I know it's hear me out. Addison, Justin Jefferson, Kevin O'Connell, high-flying offense. I know that division's better, but could Sam Darnold turn it around?
Absolutely. See, now you're speaking my language, Kay, because you're talking about a guy who's in the perfect position to do that. He has really good weapons around him, and he can take advantage of that by just simply getting him the ball, making the game easy, being smart about it, protecting the ball. And that's where Jared Goff started off. He started off protecting the football, bonding with his teammates, getting his playmakers the ball, and the rest becomes history.
I do want to ask you about one more quarterback before we hop over to yours, and Aiden O'Connell, who I think is your quarterback. I don't know. The Jared Goff contract, to me, I texted Hamilton, my producer, right away, and I said, all this sort of shows me is, well, I don't know why never mind. I want to ask you, hold on, let's get rid of this footage. Hold on, we'll get to Aiden O'Connell. I want to ask you about Jordan Love, because that's what I texted Hamilton when I saw the Jared Goff deal come on. I said, what does this mean for Jordan Love. Such a small sample size, 7, 8 games. What do you do? Should he get paid more than Jared?
Well, see, that's the biggest question, because when you look at all these teams this year, all the quarterbacks are off the board. So now Jordan Love has all the leverage where if he starts off this season the way he should start the season, the way he ended the season last year, playing at a high level, protecting the football, throwing the ball extremely accurate, then he's going to get paid more than Goff. Oof. And when it comes down to these major contracts, it's all about timing.
Yeah.
All about timing.
Yeah, it's like a who's next mentality. They set the market. And like all the quarterbacks love that too, because it just keeps going up. I don't know that I don't think that Jared Goff would want him to get paid less than him. You keep wanting to drive the price up with the salary cap. Okay, let's talk about the Raiders. Coach Antonio Pierce has said, as we have awesome footage here of Aidan O'Connell to show you, he earned the right to take the first snap of the season in front of Gardner Minshew, who is a Pro Bowler. And we're talking about camp here, not week 1. Based on what you know about Aidan and what you might know about Gardner, what do you make of the decision?
I think it's not so much about Aidan and Gardner, but more so about Antonio Pierce and the culture that he is trying to implement in that locker room. Meaning, it's not about how much money you make. It's not about what you've done in the past. What are you going to do here? Can you show me the work? And Gardner Minshew hasn't put on that silver helmet yet. And that's something that you always have to earn. Whereas Aidan O'Connell was put in a situation where he had to step up to the plate, start on a team as a rookie, and make plays for that team. And that's a hard job. That's a hard thing to do. So what Antonio Pierce is doing for that locker room is saying, show me that you can make a play. Show me that you're going to do what's necessary in this silver and black uniform, and I'm going to give you the opportunity to keep your spot and earn your spot.
He has one of the best receivers to throw to. You know,
the best receiver to throw to.
PFF has this quarterback room as like the worst ranked quarterback room by the numbers, you know, like a smidge above where the Broncos are sitting with their quarterback room. But then I think about it, and I go, Davante Adams isn't on the Broncos. Like, Davante Adams, he's there. He is the best. I love that you corrected me. He's the best wide receiver. Underutilized, lowest yardage total since 2019 when he only played 12 games that year. So I don't know, with that whole situation, how much faith do you have to sort of turn this around and make Davante happy, which I do think matters right now?
It absolutely matters. You're talking about not just the best all-around wide receiver in the National Football League, but you're talking about the best player in your locker room. That is someone that can. Davante Adams is one of those guys who we call the ultimate eraser. The Tom Brady's, the Gronks of the world, the Davante Adams, the Tony Gonzalez's of the world, the Travis Kelce's, and the Patrick Mahomes. They cover up a lot of your deficiencies that you have on your team by simply being great. So when you talk about a guy like Davante Adams and your offensive coordinator, you got to get him in positions to open him up and be successful. And what that means for Davante Adams is get him the ball. Just get him the ball. And if Aidan O'Connell, Gardner Minshew, whoever is throwing the ball understands that, then you're going to have some success on the offensive side of football.
Do you wish Michael Penix was throwing Davante the ball?
You have no idea
your face
how bad
me.
I wanted that.
Well,
you have no idea how bad I wanted that. Atlanta made a fantastic choice of taking Michael Penix Jr. with the number 8 pick. He is going to be a fantastic leader for years and years to come, and a phenomenal quarterback. I have an unbelievable amount of confidence in that choice, no matter who he was throwing the ball to.
They didn't trade up. They could have. He's sitting behind Kirk. Warren Moon at the Derby told me he loved the move too. He thinks it's perfect, and he'll sit a little bit. He'll develop there. But if I saw Davante Adams recently, and I just look at him, and he's like, it's hard to not have him be your favorite player. You know, it's really hard to not root for him, and you want to see the ring. You want to see the shot for the ring. So, you know, getting Michael Penix, that would make him happy. Does it matter if he's happy? Like, I guess what I'm really asking you, like, is he 100% playing for them this year? Is he a tradable piece? Is there going to be disgruntlement around Davante Adams potentially?
No, Davante Adams is a team player as well. BK, when you say happy, I know exactly what you mean, but I know some viewers may think that happy to Devontae is just simply getting him the ball. What makes Devontae Adams happy is winning. Raiders have to find a way to win football games. And it just so happens that getting him the ball is the common denominator of winning football games. And I think they can manufacture ways to get him the ball, whether it's, Michael Penix or Aiden O'Connell or Gardner Minshew. No matter whom's throwing in the ball, Devontae Adams is going to make himself open, especially with the help that they got in the first pick with Brock Bowers being a threat as well. Just get him the ball and find ways to win football games, and Devontae is going to be plenty happy.
This is you talking to AP, basically, because last time I talked to you, there's a quote, and it was a really eloquent quote. We were talking about the candidates and, who could lead this team. And you said, let me find the exact quote. You said, you have to find a Raider. There's 31 teams in this league, and then there's the Raiders. Is Antonio Pierce a Raider? And what was that moment for you, if yes?
Antonio Pierce is a Raider. Antonio Pierce is a guy that stems. He has Raider in his blood. It's just being a Raider is not something that you learn how to do. Being a Raider is not something that you necessarily grow into. Being a Raider is something that is in you, and you have to bring it out. And Antonio Pierce is a Raider.
Full NFL schedule comes out tomorrow. Last one for you, Marcel. We know there's a Raider game away game at the Saints, I believe. The first time Derek Carr faces his old team. You played with him. You know he runs emotional, heart on his sleeve kind of player. What is this game going to mean to Derek Carr?
That game is going to be everything to DC. And mark my words now, and the reel will be up. Derek Carr, the entire week, is going to say that it's just another game to him. It's just another game to him. And he's not going to say anything else. He's just going to say...
Why do y'all lie? Why do y'all lie? Why?
Well, because you don't want to get too emotional before the game. But once that game starts, you are going to see DC hollering and screaming and getting his team up. And that's going to be a fun game to watch because Devontae Adams is going to be up for that game too. And they're best friends, and they both are going to want bragging rights for that game. So that's going to be a fun game to watch. And
that's going to be at the home of the Super Bowl.
It is.
At some point this season. I wonder, I kind of want that to be like a Christmas or Thanksgiving. That deserves a moment, I think, that game. I hope it's a big one.
What if that game is a Super Bowl preview?
You're insane. Marcel, you said maybe you and I should go to this game. How about that?
Let's see.
Marcel?
I sent out that offer for the national championship and the Pac-12 championship, and you flaked on me.
But listen, that wasn't. Where was that?
That was in Vegas, at my stadium.
Vegas is great, loved it. But I spent too much time in Vegas this last year. I have not been to New Orleans since the Harbaugh Bowl. I have not been to New Orleans since Beyonce made, that happened at that Super Bowl. So I will go to New Orleans with you.
Okay,
let's
so
talk
we're saying it right now. We are meeting in New Orleans, and the first po' boy's on me.
Perfect. And the first person to put Cam Jordan in a headlock wins. All right. We love you, Marcel Reece. Appreciate you for everything that you bring to the table, all of the analysis, and the jersey. You bought presents. Hey, Joe Ortiz, what'd you bring me? The GM of the Chargers.